You are about to listen to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast, hosted by Craig Forrestall. Find Craig on Twitter at that_sports_guy. The That Sports Guys podcast is proudly featured by NFL Draft Diamonds, your draft coverage king. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some football talk.
Hello and welcome to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. I am Craig Forrestall. You might know me from Twitter as at that_sports_guy. And with us today is a favorite of the show, former Northern Iowa offensive lineman, Spencer Brown. Spencer, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm hanging in there. I had a pretty good weekend. I know it's your birthday today, so happy birthday to you. Hopefully it's been an enjoyable day. And I just want to start off with what's been going on with you, because we last spoke in June and there was a bunch of uncertainty surrounding the Northern Iowa football season at that time and just college football in general. Spencer, can you kind of just take us through the roller coaster of emotions you faced as you've worked through what's the best decision for you and your future?
Yeah, so starting in June, going through those summer workouts, we weren't lifting at the facility. We had a makeshift gym in our garage, actually, at our college house. So the roommates and I, that's where we worked out twice a day, every day. And there was a lot of speculation and doubts surrounding the FCS season as well as the FBS. So going into that, we had teams from the FCS dropping like every other week throughout the summer. So we kind of had our own thoughts going into it that it might be a possibility that we don't play, but we never wavered from like the workouts or anything like that. Like we were playing like we were getting ready to have a regular season. So we were prepared, ready to play, and then we got it canceled and we just had to deal with it.
And so now, Spencer, what made this the right time for you to declare for the draft, given the additional year of eligibility that was being offered? Did you even consider returning?
I had small talks here and there with position coaches and my family, and then just like my close friends and relatives that I'm super close with and can trust their opinions, and I want to hear their opinions. So I had some talks here and there, but I mean, in the back of my head, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I didn't want to come back because that's just like a whole nother year of waiting for the draft, and I mean, we're not getting any younger here, so just not wanting to wait back for a whole nother year to get back in there. And then I thought that my skill set was ready to get in there and compete with the big guys.
And then, Spencer, leading into that, you received an invitation to the Senior Bowl. Can you take us through those first couple of moments, what your reaction was, and also just was it the culmination of everything that you had worked for?
Yeah, it was for sure. I mean, all the hard work pays off. I was really looking forward to getting an invite from the Senior Bowl. I didn't know if I'd make the cut or not, but that was a big thing for me because not having the season and all these other guys having film. So like the Senior Bowl is a big thing for me in a regular year, but now like in this messed up year is even much bigger for me because just going out there and proving I can play. I sat out 14 months, my first time playing again. So getting that invite kind of really helped me a ton. And then getting an invite personally from Joe Staley, he surprised me. We're doing drills and he dropped the invite on me. I didn't really know what the hell was going on. I mean, I was kind of like lost in space. I didn't really know how to act. It's kind of like the way I felt about it, like in that scenario, is like people like singing happy birthday to you. Like you just kind of sit there awkwardly. You aren't sure what to do with your hands. And it was different, but I mean, it was a whirlwind of emotions. And I just kind of sat there on the bench after and had a moment to myself.
And then you were able to share your Senior Bowl experience with your former Northern Iowa teammate, Elerson Smith. Did you and Elerson talk at all about coming in with the same recruiting class and then also being able to play one last time in that Northern Iowa helmet at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, we had some good talks going into it, and as well as we were down there. It was also really, really good for us to have one another going down there. I think a lot of guys go down there by themselves and they aren't with teammates, so they're kind of just like on the outskirts and kind of find a way to fit in. But like having Elerson there, I mean, I was perfectly fine. I saw a recognizable face, and we talked throughout the week, and it's a pretty cool week to be a part of for us too, because we were both like the undersized guys coming out of high school, and I think he was like 190 pounds and I was 220. And then we both got our weight up. We developed in the field and the weight room. So it's been a long time coming for both of us, and then going against each other in practice. So it was crazy to really experience that with someone that's kind of had the same journey as I had.
And then Spencer, how would you describe your Senior Bowl experience, and how do you feel you performed overall?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, playing for the first time in 14 months, obviously there's gonna be some rust with playing, because it isn't like we got 3 days of helmets and 3 days of shells, and then you went to full pads like it is in college for fall camp. I mean, the first day I showed up, we were in helmets and shoulder pads, and we were out there smacking from the first whistle. So I'm just going out there, and it was a big learning curve for me, not only just getting back to playing, but then playing against those high level guys from Notre Dame and Baylor and the SEC powerhouses. And first day was pretty much just learning the speed of the game and get my feet back under me. Second day, I kind of had glimpses here and there of my original form back in Northern Iowa. And then my third day, I think I was back to my true form. And then Saturday, I went out there and performed well. I mean, I had like plays in the back of my head right now. I'm thinking about that. I wish I could have done better on, but I definitely proved myself, I think.
And then Spencer, there was also a portion for team interviews. How were those set up, and did those team conversations go as you expected or anticipated?
That was like speed dating, like picture speed dating in your head, like at some bar or restaurant or whatever. It was exactly what that was. I mean, there was 32 teams. All of them had their own little table with like the plexiglass wall in front of them, and then like the drapes around them. So it was like just a little table, and then you had 15 minutes. And then once they blew the horn, you went to the next table for 15 minutes, and you met with 16 one night, you met with 16 the other. And those were long nights, but they were needed nights. But going into the interviews, I really know what to expect. I mean, you're a little intimidated. You're talking to NFL personnel, and some of the GMs were there, and O-line coaches and things like that. So you're definitely intimidated a little bit, but after like that kind of wears off after a few meetings, and then you're just talking ball and talking about yourself and just like showing your personality. So it wasn't too bad. There were some questions that would throw you off guard. You had to sit there and think about it, but luckily there wasn't too many of those.
And then Spencer, what can you contribute to an NFL team from day one, not only in the position room, but also on the field?
I'm just going to compete. I mean, that's what I did at UNI. That's what I do in the weight room. Pretty much anything like aspect of my life, I just compete either against somebody or with myself every day. So I'm not going to be the guy that has it all figured out, or is going to come in there and just win a bunch of reps, but I'm going to be the guy that just competes day in and day out, doesn't care who he goes against.
And now the NFL has become a league of schemes, systems, and specialization. Do you feel that you fit in a certain scheme or system best?
I don't think there's a exact scheme. I'm like, I can do this the best at. I mean, at UNI, I had two different O-line coaches, and they both brought two different systems with them. So with Coach Simmons and my redshirt freshman year, there's a lot of power and gap scheme, things like that. So I got acclimated to that. And then when Coach Ryan Clant came in from playing at Oregon, he had all the RPOs, the outside zone, and things like that. So I don't think I can just think of one scheme that I'd fit in the best at. I think I just have strengths, like in the pass game. I have strengths running outside zone and some gap, but I can't think of just one offensive scheme I'd fit in the best.
And then Spencer, currently, how are you training for the upcoming NFL draft?
So right now it's all like the combine workouts. You turn into a track athlete, training for the 40, and your position drills, the pro agility, and then the bench, obviously. So I'm out in California from August till December with Joe Staley down in San Diego, and I worked out with him. And then now I'm up here in Irvine working at my agency's facility, and still continue to work with Joe, but it's more focused like on the combine stuff. And then I'll come home and do the pro day, and then we wait for a month to see what happens.
And then as the draft gets closer every day, what does that do to your focus and mindset, Spencer? Does it change at all? Does it intensify?
I mean, it's anticipation's building for sure. I can't get caught up in it though, because it's like 2 months away. So still a lot of days to stack before that one. And I might take every day like the day it is. I mean, you can't do anything else but work that day. So that's what I do. And eventually that day will come. But until then, we're just going to sit back and prepare.
And then what are your short-term and long-term football goals?
Short term would just go into the organization and team that picks me to be a part of their team organization, and just show I'm a trustworthy, dependable guy that does all the right things on and off the field, and does my job. Unless I come and compete and help win football games. And long-term goal, hopefully become a staple with the team, and be the guy they look to for leadership, or how this is how you do things type of player. So that'd be long-term goal for sure.
And then the last question I have for you, Spencer. We've seen over the years athletes will watch the draft with family, friends, or do other things to enjoy the moment. How do you plan on watching the draft?
I'll be back in Lenox, Iowa, just hanging out with my family and close friends and relatives, and just sitting on a couch waiting and socializing with people that supported me from day one and pushed me as well. So it's going to be a good day down in Lenox, Iowa, a good couple of days anyway, and just enjoy the moment with everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is former Northern Iowa offensive lineman Spencer Brown. He touched on it multiple times throughout our conversation. Competition. He's a competitor. It's all he's ever done in every aspect of his life since the moment he could breathe. He's going to bring that to an NFL city in the very near future. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that is Spencer Brown. I'm Craig Forrestall. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.
Hey everybody, Craig Forrestall. Thanks for tuning in and listening to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @that_sports_guy to catch all the latest updates and podcast episodes. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.